Welcome back to pregame.tv. Saturday college football action. Alabama opens up their quest for the three-peat. They play Virginia Tech. This is on a neutral field. This is being played in the Georgia Dome, Ken. In Alabama, what can we say? I mean, two-time defending national champ. What's it been, 3 out of the last 4? You know, this is a team that you want to say the word dynasty. Let's go ahead and put the label out there. I mean, Alabama has been a football machine for the last 5 years. Nick Saban, some people say he's hard to work for, but boy, does he get the job done.
He does, and he doesn't even crack a smile, even when they're going to get that trophy there to win it all. But they pulled out a couple games. The LSU game, they had no business winning, but the guy that won the game, T.J. Yeldon, he's back in the backfield. So, while you lose one back, Lacey, who may start for Green Bay, you got another guy, Yeldon, coming back, who's probably the better of the two. Yeah,
one thing about when you've got a blue-chip program like Alabama and somebody graduates, don't cry too much, because you just go open up the cupboard, pull out another blue chip, plug them in, and there you go. I mean, this team just restocks and restocks. And, for Virginia Tech, to have to open the season against, the defending champs, this is a tough assignment. And Virginia Tech hasn't shied away from, playing tough out-of-conference games in Frank Beamer's career, but they might want to put a couple cupcakes in there early to pad the record, because last year 7-6, and there were some rumblings in down there in Hokie land that maybe the game's starting to pass Frank Beamer by. The offense had absolutely no imagination last year.
I don't know if it's so much that the game's passing him by. You and I talked off the air. I don't think he's getting the same 4- and 5-star recruits that he was getting back when Beamer ball was big and they were coming right close to knocking on the door on national titles. This team doesn't have a national title. They should have had a couple. They came that close, especially when Michael Vick was there. Again, the special teams are still solid, but they're not what they were. And again, the defense holds them in some games. Logan Thomas is an athlete, there is no doubt, but he doesn't have enough weapons to get the ball to, so he tries to make too many plays on his own, and he pays the price for it.
Well, that's a big point in bringing it up in this game. I think things are going to be even tougher for Logan Thomas. As Virginia Tech's thin at the running back position right now, because they've had some injuries and they've had some suspensions. And
they've lost a couple guys that have left early for the NFL. You had Brown over there for the Giants. You also have Williams over there for the Arizona Cardinals.
And Virginia Tech, as you mentioned, not like Alabama. You don't go open up the cupboard and find a blue chipper waiting in the wings. They don't have those kind of recruits anymore. So when you are thin in the running game, that's going to put more pressure on a guy like Logan Thomas. And last year, the games that he had to try to carry this team, it just unraveled, because it ended up making mistakes and turnovers, and then, games got out of hand. I see more of that in this game.
Marco, you know what it is? I tell you, it's so hard to just go against Alabama, because you just expect a well-coached juggernaut to come at you. And I had Tom Roberts on the radio show, SportsX Radio. Can go back on the archives, listen to that. Tom's been with that broadcast team now 36 years. Also had Bill Roth, the voice of Virginia Tech, my good bud, come on. Billy's entering his 25th year with Virginia Tech. And I think they're on the same page that the only way Virginia Tech has a chance to hang in this game is they've got to have a lot of things go their way. Some tip balls, some turnovers. But, I don't know where you're at on this game. So it is your free play, Marco D'Angelo. Let's make it official.
You stole my line. All right. Ken just loves to steal my line there, and that's all right. I let him do it. Hey, I look at this game, Alabama, what's not to like about them? Two-time defending national champs. And what I like, solid defense. You're always going to get a defensive performance out of an Alabama team. In this Virginia Tech offense, they struggled too often, too many times last year. And when they fall behind, which they are going to fall behind in this game, and Logan Thomas becomes a one-dimensional game where he's going to have to throw the ball, that's when it can get real ugly with this defense, with the turnovers. I look at Alabama. You've got a Heisman candidate in A.J. McCarron returning at quarterback. You've got always a great stable of running backs in Alabama. That's the thing. They can continue to protect and build leads in the second half. That's one thing that you always got to concern yourself when you're laying a big number. Do you have a team that can close out a game or extend a lead when they're actually trying to milk the clock? And that's what you have with that running game of Alabama. But here's where the caveat is for me in this game. It's the first game of the season. That gives Alabama an absolutely monster edge. Why? Look at what Nick Saban has done in the openers the last 3 years, and look at what he's done in bowl games the last 3 years. There's something common denominator there. What is it? You've got a month to prepare for both of those games. You give Nick Saban that amount of time to coach up, game plan, and take away the other team's strength, he is going to shut you down. Listen to these numbers. In the last 3 openers, Alabama has allowed 3, 7, and 14 points. The 14 points were last year to Michigan in a rout. Defense let up a little bit. In the last 3 bowl games, he's allowed 7, 0, and 14 points. Again, the 14 points were last year. Notre Dame, we all know what the score was there, and that went a rout. You give Alabama time to prepare, it's not pretty. I'm going to go ahead and ride Alabama. You're watching this on Wednesday. We're taping. Don't wait. This line is on its way up. We're still under the 21. That's the key number here. I want to be laying under the 3 touchdowns. Go ahead, lay the wood. I've got Alabama winning this one 34-10. That's my free pick for Saturday, Ken. That's going to wrap up this week's shows. We'll be back next week. We'll have first week of the NFL. We'll have everybody in studio. We'll be taping at least 2 days next week. Who knows? We might even have a 3rd day of videos for you guys next week. I'm excited about the season. Tell people where they can hear you. SportsX Radio.
SportsX Radio. It's on AM 720 KDWN. If you're down in the Phoenix market, AM 1100 KFNX, or you can just go to the website sportsxradio.com or KDWN.com. But that, and of course First Preview, which is on ESPN Radio here in town, AM 1100 with Scotty Spreitzer, RJ Bell and the boys. That show is Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 2 shows that you get a lot of angles, a lot of different cappers. I've got Marco D'Angelo comes on Monday night with me. Always have the last segment of my show from 8:35 to 9 o'clock with a pregame capper. So we've got Marco D'Angelo on Mondays. You've got Steve Fezzik, who stops in on Tuesdays, Vegas Runner on Wednesdays, Andy Isco Thursdays, and then Friday, my good pal Chuck Edel and I, we break down every single college and pro game in rotation order on the Friday show. And, of course, this Friday on August 30th, it'll just be the college games, but we'll also do that tonight on the Wednesday show. So these videos will go up. But you can always go in the archive, Marco. There's about 4 weeks worth of archives there. So you go back and listen. I actually had a guy from, I sent you the email, from Washington, D.C., has made a lot of money on your baseball plays. A guy, Brett, that said, hey, I got to get Marco D'Angelo's, where's the archive? And I go, we're doing it tonight. He goes, oh, I didn't know you guys. Yeah, I said, Marco's on Monday night. So kudos to you, pal.
Yeah, I've been giving out a lot of free plays. I got to get some of those onto the the premium plays there for the guys. Hey, that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. Cash a lot of tickets this week. We'll be back next week. Fezzik and the crew will be in on Tuesday. We'll be in Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not sure which. We'll let you know. That's it for this week. Good luck. Enjoy opening week.